Good evening and welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Regional News, and happy pre-emancipation to all. Starting off with news in Trinidad and Tobago. The Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force successfully handed down 2 drones over Teteron Barracks, where problematic prison inmates from the maximum security prison were relocated at the start of the state of emergency, according to Attorney General John Jeremy. And I quote, "I have been clear to say that the locations that the problematic inmates were removed to were also infiltrated by 2 drones. That is what I have been permitted to say." End of quote. Jeremy told Parliament as legislators debated and passed a motion to extend the state of emergency by 3 months on Monday night. The state of emergency came into force on July 18 after the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service said it had received intelligence reports whereby organized criminal gangs with persons inside of the prisons and persons operating on the outside of the prisons have formed themselves into what would want to term as an organized crime syndicate. Police Commissioner Alice Guevara said that members of that syndicate were actively planning to quote-unquote carry out assassinations, robberies, and kidnappings. He informed Parliament that those targeted for assassination were given warnings by law enforcement and that the state of emergency was vital to empower law enforcement to dismantle the criminal enterprise. Over to news in Jamaica. Jamaicans are encouraged to actively contribute to the shift towards eco-friendly alternatives as the country enters the 4th phase of the single-use plastic ban. Gillian Guthrie, Chief Technical Director in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, emphasized the importance of consumer choices in reducing plastic waste, especially for items that have sustainable substitutes. The ban initiated in 2018 aims to phase out non-biodegradable plastics due to health and environmental concerns linked to microplastics. The ban items include single-use plastic bags, polyethylene or polypropylene straws, styrofoam, food containers, and personal care products with microbeads. Anthony Mackenzie, the country's Director for Environmental Management and Conservation at NEPA, expressed support for the plastic ban and urged consumers to use biodegradable paperboard alternatives. He noted the challenge of consumers reporting that some plastic containers from food establishments are not single-use. And finally, with some international news. Torrential rain has killed at least 30 people in the northern outskirts of Beijing as China faces another deadly rainy season with extreme downpours, floods, and landslides. Intense rainstorms in northern China has led to the deaths of 30 people, with 28 fatalities reported in Minyong and 2 in Yangqing. Significant damage has occurred, including impacted roads and power outages in other 100 rural villages. More than 80,000 people have been relocated, with 17,000 from Minyong. On Monday, Beijing issued a highest-level flood alert, warning residents of severe risk from flash floods, mudslides, and landslides. Authorities have ordered schools, construction sites, and scenic spots across the city to be closed, and all rural homestays and campsites to suspend operations. The deadly rains and floods came just 2 days after the Chinese capital was pounded by record rains that killed 33 people. In 2023, Beijing was struck by its heaviest rainfall in 140 years, which unleashed severe flash floods in its mountainous western outskirts. Thank you for watching. I'm Antonio Day. Goodbye for now.